Good evening and welcome to the premiere episode of the Gridiron Live here on the Friday Night Network. Hello everyone, I'm Grady Sapp. Alongside me, Brandon Steele, as we get together every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and talk a little high school, college, and football and anything else that we may come across in the way of sports. But of course, Brandon, this time of year in the state of Alabama, it is all about football.
Yes, sir, it is all about football. We got some good ones coming up.
We do indeed, and of course we have talked to you a little bit about going online, picking out our FNN High School Game of the Week, and a lot of folks got online and voted this week, and I think they picked a pretty darn good one. We're looking forward to it coming up on Friday night. We will join you from the Creek Bank as the Ohatchee Indians play host to the Randolph County Tigers, and that was, of course, a quarterfinal matchup that we saw last season there on the Creek Bank that turned out to send Ohatchee on to the semifinals, and we're looking forward to that rematch coming up on Friday night. So I think the fans picked a really, really good matchup.
That's going to be Battle of the Creek Banks, isn't it? Lake Harris against Lake Neely Henry.
Well, actually, they called Randolph County, they play down on Frog Level.
On Frog Level?
Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever been to a place that's any colder than down on Frog Level when it's getting into the late fall. But I don't think we've got to worry about this Friday night. We're going to have a nice, cool fall evening, and it's going to feel like football. And, this is the region that produced in the northern half of the state all four quarterfinal teams, and of course the two semifinal teams as well. So it's a great region in Class 3A, and it's shaping up to be another season-long battle to decide a region champion.
So I didn't believe it. We're going to have two undefeateds going at it already.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, and keep your eye on those Randolph County Tigers. They're going to be tough this year with a young team, but of course, Ohatchee got it done last year under Coach Scott Martin. They lost some guys, but they've got a lot of talent coming back, and we expect a phenomenal matchup on Friday night.
We sure will.
Of course, we've got a lot of coming up on the show tonight and each and every week. Now, we're going to talk high school football. We're also going to talk some college football throughout the course of the season, so we're not going to leave anything out. As you saw in the intro, we'll have various guests coming on from everything from sports writers to local play-by-play voices that you hear doing high school football around the area, and we're looking forward to that. Of course, it all takes place here at the Gridiron, which is a super spot to come and watch all the high school and college games each week, and you can certainly watch the FNN Game of the Week right here on the Gridiron at all the Gridiron locations.
Sounds like fun. They're going to bring you some food.
They will in a little while. I have the good authority that we're actually going to have some food coming out here in just a little bit. We also have a number of guests who are going to be joining us tonight, and our lineup is a good one. We'll be joined by Weaver head coach Darryl Hamby. The Bearcats, one of the four quarterfinalists from the 3A region last year. Also coming up tonight, we'll be joined by the head coach for the Leeds Green Wave. That is Coach Lee Gibson, and we'll have our FNN Player of the Week. Torrence Pollard from Leeds will be with us as well. Brody Kroll was set to be our featured guest tonight, but Brody had some last-minute things come up, but he is going to join us later in the season. Also tonight, we'll talk some JSU football as we'll be joined by some coaches from up at JSU as they get set to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets coming up this Saturday. The Yellow Jackets will be smarting from a loss last night to the Tennessee Volunteers. We got a lot coming up tonight. We'll take a timeout. We're coming back. We'll be joined by Weaver head coach Darryl Hamby when we return here on the Gridiron Live.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Aniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
All right, this is Adam. Take two. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
I'm race car driver Curtis Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We had the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
At Team One, we have it all. Team One Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Toyota, and Nissan. Check us out, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back into the Gridiron Live. Hello, everyone. I'm Grady Sapp alongside Brandon Steele, and we're pleased to welcome our first guest of the evening in. He is the head coach for the Weaver Bearcats, Coach Darryl Hamby. Coach, good to have you with us on our premiere edition tonight.
Thanks for inviting us.
Hey, we're glad to have you here. Of course, Coach, you're coming off a fantastic season last year.
Right.
Took it to the quarterfinals, and we were talking about the region earlier, and I don't know that I can remember a region producing 4 quarterfinalists in the northern half of the state.
I think it's only happened one time before, but a very tough region, you know. A lot of good coaches, a lot of good players.
Sounds like it. After we've watched a couple of games this year with trying to establish the run.
Right.
It seems like that's what everybody's trying to do. And early in the season, you got your penalties, and everybody getting hit with them, and they get these good drives, and they get backed up. What can you do in practice to kind of shift that and work on those to keep that from happening?
That's really what we're trying to do right now. The first game we take is like almost a preseason, a jamboree, even though it wasn't a jamboree, but we treat it like a jamboree. Correct your mistakes. The second game, thought we corrected a lot of mistakes. Had a really good game against BB Comer, and just like I told the kids today, we've just got to get better with every practice because our schedule doesn't get any easier; it just keeps getting tougher.
It sure does.
Coach, you came off the success of last year. A lot of times you come into a season like last year, your team is hungry, they're focused, they want to get up to that level. Well, you kind of made it up to that level to get into the postseason, got some postseason wins.
Right.
What did you work on and do during the offseason to keep this team hungry, or was that pretty well already there?
Well, we just told them, you don't have the Tyreek Halls to depend on anymore, the Paul Hubbards, Matt Elstons. You've got to become those players now. So, it's all about working out in the weight room. That's the first thing. And then again, practice with a purpose. That's one thing that team did last year was practice with a purpose. But now this team also does the same thing, but they're just a different group. And as a coach, you got to figure out what makes them gel and what makes them go. So we're figuring that out right now. We've got a lot of weapons, and really happy where we're at right now.
Speaking of off season, we was talking to the Vincent head coach, and he was new down there, and he was saying they didn't even have an off season program until he got on board. What kind of program do you set up for these young men when they're through the summer?
Weight training first. We commit our June to weights. Doing what you're supposed to, get in that weight room, get in shape. And then July is the same thing, except then we add more onto it, with our 7-on-7 camps and things like that. We encourage our students to become, we'd like them to be multi-athletes. We think it helps out, not only for them, but also with the performance on the football field.
Right.
We try to do any pressure that you can take, Well, this is hard to pass up.
Yeah, I know it, right? Yeah, we got
what football?
Any pressure that you can take, whether it's hitting a baseball or shooting a basketball, it helps you in every arena. So,
right. A lot of coaches don't like their athletes.
Yeah, I do. I think it helps. So I'll take my son for example. He doesn't feel the pressure as much as it would be. It's just he's a quarterback, and that's all he does. I mean, he's a good baseball player, good basketball player. So he's continuously having pressure, and his dad's the coach, and so he's got pressure on him all the time.
Well, now we are getting served up with some good food here from the Gridiron. Now I know one is Kat, and who else do we have? Kat, and that's Kat.
I'm Kat.
You're Kat, and you are. Ashley, so Kat.
Cat's an old bear cat.
Is she an old bear cat? All right. So she's happy to be up here while you're here. All right. And we've got some great hot wings and some fries here at the Gridiron. So we invite everybody to come on down and enjoy some of that. And Coach, if you can talk with your mouth full, you can have some of those as well.
I was about to say, where's y'all's at?
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Coach Hamby, let's talk a little bit about you. Got off to a nice start here in the season, kind of got a couple of wins under your belt. Now you get a break. You get the bye week pretty early in the season.
Right.
Talk about that, how that fell for you, and do you like it this early, or would you prefer it a little later?
Well, last year was my first experience with a bye week, and I really didn't know how to handle it. But, we do like it, especially we've got a few guys banged up, not banged up for the season. This will give them plenty of time to recover because they're going to need it because we've got Welborn, in our next game. So I like it. I like it a lot.
That's a good time to have it, I guess, at the beginning. Too,
great
to
time to
analyze,
have it.
Especially with 2 games already in.
Yeah, great time to analyze the team, get fix a lot of things because now we're getting into the meat of our season, and it's a good time to have this. I don't like to say off week because it's never an off week. But
now, will that give you an opportunity on Friday to go out and do?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've got our coaches going every different direction because I learned when I was under Coach Kent at Alexandria, you can get a lot off of film, but boy, you can get a lot when you go to a game. There's just nothing like going to a game. People like to talk, people like to brag, and we like to listen.
That's right. That's good. Yeah.
And, of course, Brandon just mentioned this, the next game coming up, you get into region play, the Welborn Panthers. They were kind of the odd team out last year. They were right there in the fight all the way through the season and got left out of the playoff mix, so you know that Coach Smith is going to have them motivated, and we've already seen them stepping up in class and playing really well early on in the season.
Right, and Coach Smith, he does a fantastic job, and I tell you, they are a very good team. They have just played some really tough teams. You take Sacs. Sacs is a great team and got a lot of speed and size and everything. And so, somebody might look at their record and say, oh, they're 0-2. Well, no, they played some tough teams, and believe me, those guys are going to be ready to play. They're good. They're a very good ball club.
Was you surprised at all at the Sacs Welborn score?
I knew Sacs was good. They got a returning quarterback. Good. Coach Miller does a great job out there, and they just seem to, have a great team every year. They got size and speed. That's a great mixture.
So when you're analyzing film, do you just kind of just put your team in those positions and be like where our strong points are going against?
Right. Exactly. We try to see what might be one of their weak points. We have a saying when I was at Alexandria, Coach Ken, we're always looking for the mayor's son, see where he's at, see if we can find him and see their weak spot. I don't really see that with Welborn. They're very sound in what they do and a very good team.
So I don't think a lot of people know that they actually switch films. Some of our viewers don't. I know when I played, I went in the coach's office and got called down. I look in there, and they're in there watching a film.
Right.
I'm like, man, you cheating. I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah, the protocol is we swap 2 films, and that's always never been a problem. And now there's this computer thing called Huddle, which is the greatest thing ever. My wife can be shopping and I can be in the mall watching film. So it's constant. All the kids have access to it and they can make their little highlight films. But it's a great learning tool, that's for sure.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
With having the extra week with the bye week this week, do you spend extra time getting ready for Welborn, or do you kind of split the time kind of working on yourselves and getting ready for Welborn?
A little bit of both. That's what we did today. We worked on us a little bit and also what we're trying to prepare for Welborn. So, the one thing is we've just like they know us inside and out. We know them probably inside and out too. But, we try to come up with nooks and crannies. But they're a very scary team. So we're glad to have this extra time to work on them.
Anything particularly going to do to keep from getting stale with that little extra time right there? Or do you think it's just going to fall right at the right time?
I think it's just going to fall at the right time. The kids seem hungry. It's good to be winning because when you're winning, the kids are more eager and really upbeat, and so that's always a good thing to have at practice.
Right. Now, Coach, as you get ready for them, I would never call a game in your 3rd game of the season a must-win. Certainly, it's not. But in the region that you play in,
Oh, yeah.
It's an awfully important game to get a win under your belt first time out.
It is. It's a very big thing, not only for your psyche, but, also, where you're positioned in that region, because it is a tough region. And, every win counts, and you cannot take a break on anybody in this region. If you do, you might get an L somewhere you don't think you deserve one, and that can put you out of the playoffs.
And you can't get discouraged on a loss because you're in such a tough region. You're like, hey, we're pretty good. We
right.
lost to the best team in the state. So,
right.
You can't really let your team get down.
This region, again, everybody talks about Piedmont, which they always have a great team. No doubt about that. But Randolph County only lost, I think, 1 or 2 players. They are returning. That is a awesome team that's coming back. And then you have Piedmont, then you have Welborn, Glencoe, Pleasant Valley. They had a big win, last week. So, this is Ohatchee. Coach Martin does a great job. It's a very tough region. You just can't fall asleep.
Are you going to be on the Creek Bank Friday?
No, we're not going to Creek Bank. I'm going to Welborn. I'm going
to Welborn?
I've got some guys going to Ohatchee.
Okay.
We got guys going everywhere.
You're going to see as many temes as you could possibly see.
We've already got our schedule. They're ready to. They're figuring out now first where they're going to eat, and then they're going to go to the game.
Well, it's always important where you're going to eat.
That's right. That's right.
And we're glad to have a chance to be here at the Gridiron, where the eating is always good.
It looks like.
And I know, Coach, you brought a couple of your players with you. You want to bring them over, and we'll talk with them a little bit here.
Yeah, I brought Dalton Hamby and Caleb Allison. Dalton's our quarterback, and Caleb's our inside linebacker. 2 of my most articulate guys, and actually can answer some questions for you, and 2 great players. And great leaders.
All right, well, we'll talk with them coming up. We'll grab a timeout. We are live at the Gridiron, our premiere episode of the Gridiron Live here on the Friday Night Network.
Hey, what's up? Oh, wait, I know you're watching TV, but you're thinking about a new truck or a new car. Why don't you log on right now to DriveTeam1.com? DriveTeam1.com has it all. What's in your driveway?
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just 1 or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
I'm race car driver Curtis Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We have the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Team One, we have it all. Team One Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Toyota, and Nissan. Check us out, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to the Gridiron Live. I'm Grady Sepp, and it is our premiere episode tonight. We've got a couple more special guests now joining me here. They are also from the Weaver Bearcats. It is quarterback Dalton Hamby, who was on my far left here, and Caleb Allison here on my left. And, of course, now Dalton is the starting quarterback for the Bearcats. Caleb is the starting inside linebacker for the Bearcats. And we'll start off, Dalton, I'll ask you this question. And I told you I was going to do this to you, but you're the coach's son. So do you feel any added pressure coming out and practicing and performing in the games with your dad as the coach?
Ever since I've been young, I've always had that pressure of being a coach's son, and me playing for him this year is very different. For some reason, I think I have a better leadership role this year, and that makes me a little bit more comfortable, if that makes any sense.
Well, it does. I can kind of see you maybe feel the pressure a little bit early on, but then you'd also it can be a benefit having your dad as the coach, right?
It helped me throughout the years.
Yeah.
For this year.
Well, that's great. And Caleb, of course, inside linebacker, and I think you are a sophomore.
I'm a junior.
I'm sorry,
yes,
get that right. You are a junior this year. And I'll start with you on this. Talk with Coach Hamby a little bit about this, but you guys had a great year last year.
Oh, yes, sir.
A really good run in the playoffs. You got a couple of wins and got to the quarterfinals. And you come into the offseason now, and the expectations are higher. You lost some guys, and that means some other guys have got to step up. What's the attitude been like with the team throughout the offseason and the early part of the season?
Right. After a big year like last year, it's kind of hard to set high expectations, but we're not backing off at all. We're setting those same high expectations, and all through the summer, it's just been trying to copy from last year, trying to do the same old, just trying to have that same great year.
And Dalton, as you get a bye week this week and you get set for the Wellborn Panthers next week, you get into region play, and we've talked a lot about this region. I don't think there's a tougher region in the state in any classification than this region is. So
absolutely.
It's a big and an important game coming up with Wellborn for you guys.
For this week, I think we're going to try our best to train harder than we've been training.
And especially when you have a bye week right before. A lot of people, they want to, I wouldn't say take the week off, but we're going to try to use that week more to improve instead of just kind of take it easy. It's going to be more of a rest week to get some players back healthy instead of just taking that break off. So it's really going to help us.
Yeah,
especially playing a team like Wellborn.
And I know the competition level, you got Wellborn out of the gate. If you can get a win, it just sets up the rest of your region schedule because every week is such a battle.
Yes, and, that is.
These past two games, it's kind of like last year. It's been similar. These past two wins, but really once you get into region play, it really doesn't mean anything. Just like last year, we had that big win against Wellborn, and that's really what I think that set us up for the rest of the victories that we had.
Talk a little bit about both of you, what it meant to you guys as players and to your program as a whole when you got that postseason win last year, and then, of course, you got two of them last year. But just talk about getting wins in the postseason and what that was like for you guys.
You always want to win, obviously, but a playoff win, it's a little different. It's more community spirit. Everybody backing you up. More people at your games. Because some people are off because they're no longer playing. But it's really different. It's a great atmosphere.
How much do you guys hear the crowd when you're out there playing in a big game? Get you jacked up a little bit?
Right. You can always hear them. You try to tone it out, but it's always there.
In all honesty, we hear the crowd, but the one thing we always hear is my dad.
Oh yes. That crowd's loud, but Coach Hamby's even louder. You're definitely gonna hear him.
Unique sound that everybody knows. From my dad.
From your dad.
Yes,
So if you mess up, you really, the first thing you want to do is walk right by him, right? Well, and going on the road, when you're on the road in a hostile environment, so the crowds really don't really get to you guys in that situation.
No, sir.
Well, it's just us on the field. Feels
right.
Yeah. Well, look, great year last year, and hopefully you'll have great success this year. We'll look forward to watching you guys play, and we'll be we'll be having Weaver on FNN sometime this season. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. That is starting quarterback Dalton Hamby and starting inside linebacker Caleb Allison from the Weaver Bearcats joining us tonight here on Gridiron Live. We'll grab a timeout. When we come back, Coach Lee Gibson from the Leeds Green Wave and Torrence Pollard, our FNN Player of the Week from Leeds as well, will be up next here on the Gridiron Live on FNN.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
I'm race car driver Curtis Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day and an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We have the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving. Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
All right, this is Adam. Take two. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I would encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Hey, what's up? Oh, wait, I know you're watching TV, but you're thinking about a new truck or a new car. Why don't you log on right now to DriveTeam1.com? DriveTeam1.com has it all. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back here to Gridiron Live on the Friday Night Network. I'm Grady Sapp, Brandon Steele to my immediate left, and now our next guest to the far left. He is Coach Lee Gibson for the Leeds Green Wave. Coach, good evening, and thanks for being with us here.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, we got a chance to come over to Leeds last Friday night and watch you guys play against the Cleveland County Tigers. And, of course, you spent the last couple of weeks playing up in the 5A level, and
right.
I think you'd be competitive at 5A from what I see.
I believe so. We got a good group of kids, and I think we could be competitive in, most of 5A.
Yeah, of course, when people around this area, they hear Leeds football, and the first thing you think about is state championships.
Right.
And I know that's a legacy that you're looking to continue with this Green Wave team.
Well, Coach Etheridge and that staff did a great job building this legacy, and, the 4 state championships and multiple visits to the state championship game, that's kind of what we're striving to get back to. And, with this group of kids, we think this year we might have an opportunity.
No pressure then?
It's football. I put more pressure on myself than anybody else could. So
we talked last week, and you said the one thing that I needed to watch out for Friday night was speed.
Yeah, we got a little bit of it.
Just a little.
Just a little.
We noticed, you and Cleveland County were kind of exchanging blows there, and then all of a sudden these explosive plays just started just going everywhere.
Well, that's kind of, we're a little undersized, so we know we're probably going to give up some big plays on the defensive side. But we also feel that at any time we're able to have a big explosive play because we've got a lot of skilled guys that can run, and, Torrence is here tonight. He's one of them. Jalen Washington being another one. Braxton Ragland, who had 3 catches the night for 3 touchdowns. So, that was a big night for him also. Ethan Kennedy, just numerous guys, and our sophomore tailback, Jacoby Hunter, is probably the kid that's going to surprise most people when they see him. Week 1 against Lincoln, I think he had a 65-yard touchdown run. And, once he gets open, he can fly.
Coach, talk about the start of the game last Friday night. We talked a little bit about this during the broadcast. It looked like you were just missing on a lot of different plays. Your quarterback was a little juiced maybe with the ball thrown a little far.
The past 2 weeks, we've started off slow in the first quarter, and that's what we talked about this week is we've got to find a way to come out in the first quarter and start hitting on all cylinders. We were missing a few balls. We dropped a few balls, so we got to figure out a way how to get those nerves out a little bit earlier and, maybe go out before the game and have a little live contact, get that out of your system, get those nerves. And we did, our quarterback, Zach Roberts, he missed barely on a few deep balls in the first quarter. And so if we hit those, it's a totally different ball game early.
Did you feel like getting into the short passing game there and hit a couple of explosive plays with the little screens out there that kind of got him in a little bit of a rhythm?
It does, and, we tag those on all our run game. It's just one of those things with those skilled guys we've got. If he looks out there and they appear like they're off coverage and he wants to throw it to one of them, we tag it for everyone so he has that ability to do it. And the first one he threw to Braxton was that. We had a run called, and he looked out there and they had 2 over 3, so he threw it to him, and Braxton was able to break a arm tackle and went 60 yards for a touchdown. So
it's no surprise when somebody's going up against Leeds, they're going to be looking for Pollard. Is it really hard to disguise him in offensive plays, or do you just put him out there and
we just put him out?
and
that's the great thing about having the other guys, Jalen, who's just as dynamic, Braxton, Ethan, and Jacoby in the backfield. We're able to move those guys around and hopefully find mismatches. And, if you double one, you're leaving somebody else open. And, we're just fortunate right now to have those guys that can run and catch and makes our play call a little bit easier.
Right.
Coach, we were talking about the fact that you get into region play this week and you've got to go on the road and you've got to go down to Elmore County, and that's one thing about playing in the region that you play in.
It's all
of it's such long road games.
Yeah.
Is that difficult to kind of organize and when you're having to make those long trips and also, I guess, balance them out where it doesn't affect your team?
No, it's not. There's something they're used to. Leeds is used to having to travel around, and, it's just where we're located, being in the South, past 4 or 5 years, we've had to travel, and the kids are used to it. The fans are used to having to make that travel, just like everybody's having used to come up to play us. So it's just something that the kids expect, and, we have to push. It pushes us for time. We like to get everywhere 2 hours before kickoff, and, we just have to make sure that everything's going as planned, and we have our pregame meal planned out. When we get out of school, it's mapped out by the minute. So just got to be detailed and make sure you leave on time.
So the kids get out a little early then on Fridays?
We're off 8th period. So this week we'll get out of school right at about 2 o'clock. And the kids get out a few minutes early from 7th period. And we'll go eat pregame meal, get on the road at 3. Be there by 5.
That's kind of exciting stuff. I know when I played game days, you didn't mind getting out of school a little bit early to go play.
And we're fortunate that we have 8th period athletics for the football team, and just having to get out 10 minutes early from 7th period. The teachers appreciate that, not having to miss a lot of class, because they are student athletes and they have to make sure they get their work. But so
this is your first road game, correct?
It is for this.
So you really you're not sure how your team's going to respond on the road after playing at home.
Well,
like that. That's a good crowd you got.
We got a veteran group, so we're looking for them to know how to behave on the road, and that's a business-like approach in everything that we do, and so once we get on the bus, they know it's time to get the mind right for the game, and once we get off. We have our set schedule that we follow, be just like we're at home. So
sometimes they're more focused on the road than they are at home.
I think last year we found that because that bus ride, they used to take a nap. And They wake up listening to their music, and we get off the bus, do a little walk through, and get taped, and then it's game times. I think the waiting around is what usually causes the most issues, the nerves.
Right.
So when you're on the bus and you're asleep, it kind of passes the time.
It sure does.
I want to ask you a question that maybe is a little bit of a strange question, but I mean, we talked about the turf over at Leeds.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful field that you've got there. Is it an adjustment for your team when you become used to playing on that turf surface, and now you go off some of the road games and you get back on some of the grass surfaces?
I don't think so. They do such a good job with turf and making it realistic now that it's not like it used to be where it was like playing on carpet. I mean, it's just like playing on grass. Definitely the benefits is not having to cut it, and then a day like today when it was raining a little bit and it doesn't affect you as far as that goes. So I guess if you go to a place that it's mud and it's a lot of rain, it takes a little while to get used to doing that, but just the actual playing surface itself, it's pretty realistic.
Well, Pollard's so fast on that turf. I wonder how fast he's going to be out there in that grass.
He's still pretty fast.
Pretty fast on grass. Coach, before we let you go, too, this has kind of become this region has become really the state championship producer. Right. I mean, you guys won back-to-back, and then, of course, last year Hanley out of the region comes in and wins a state championship. Yep. So, hey, you just got to get through your own region. If you can do that, you're in pretty good shape.
Looking back in the past history when they won it, it's come out of this region. Then you got Hanley, teams like Montfort, Tallahassee, and even Childersburg this year is much improved from last year. So you got Elmore County, which is going to be as athletic as they come. So it's just a tough region, and whoever can come out on top has a good chance in the playoffs.
And that's got to have you battle-tested and ready when you get to the postseason from what you've happened to have been knocking heads all year.
Like last year, for example, for us, we ended up with 4 ACL injuries, 2 ankle injuries. But coming through our region allowed us, to still made the playoffs second round, and we still had a chance, and so this region prepares you for that.
Well, that's what me and Grady was talking about before the game last Friday. When you go into that schedule and you see Leeds on there, whether you're a fan or a coach, you swallow real deep. Oh, goodness, this Leeds coming.
Well, we hope we can still live up to that tradition. So.
Yeah, and on the flip side, you get everybody's best shot.
We do, yes.
Well, Coach Gibson, thank you so much for taking time with us tonight, man. We're great.
Thank you for having us.
Glad to have you, and good luck this season, and we look forward to seeing the Green Wave again down the road.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we're going to have Torrence Pollard joining us next. He is our FNN Player of the Week from over at Leeds. He'll be on next as we continue with Gridiron Live here on the Friday Night Network.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
I'm race car driver Crew Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We had the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
At Team One, we have it all. Team One Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Toyota, and Nissan. Check us out. DriveTeam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to Gridiron Live here on the Friday Night Network. I'm Grady Sapp alongside Brandon Steele, coming to you live from the Gridiron in Oxford tonight. And we've been being tempted by some great-looking wings, and we're going to dive into those as soon as we can get off the air so that y'all don't have to see us with wing sauce all over our face. Right, Brandon?
That's right.
We've got our special guest now joining us here at the table. And, of course, he is our Friday Night Network Player of the Week from last Friday night's game, and that was the Leeds win over Cleveland County. Torrence Pollard is with us. Torrence, good evening. Thanks for being with us, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, now, what a game last Friday night for you. Talk about breaking loose and getting that thing in the end zone last week.
I had not been in the end zone all night that night, and, we had all our players making plays, so I felt like I couldn't be the one left out. So when I caught it, I was just determined to get in the end zone on that play.
Braxton wasn't giving you any grief because he had 3, was he?
No, sir.
Your coach talked to us earlier in the week, talking about how fast you guys were. What do you do to get that fast?
I don't know. We just do a lot of working out, speed training. During the summer, we got together and did our own thing from time to time, like after workouts. Of course, we went home and got naps and stuff first because Coach Gibson wore us out. But other than that, we just worked hard.
Do you wear the parachute and do the running or drag the tire?
Yes, sir.
You do that?
Yes, sir. We do hurdles.
Oh, my goodness.
And we work on our hips and everything.
Now, you play linebacker, too. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, which do you like doing better? Do you like out there making the plays or doing the linebacker position on defense?
Honestly, I like being a corner better, but I'm going to do what my team needs me to do. So.
Do you probably play any position? Have you ever done quarterback or anything like that?
Quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a wildcat position?
In Little League, last year, I ran the little wildcat, but last time I played quarterback was in Little League. So.
Oh, my goodness. I bet you that's deadly.
Now, getting to play both ways, you get hit, obviously played at the wide receiver position, but now you get to turn around and hit. So do you kind of bring a little bit of that mentality to the offensive side when you're playing receiver to try to deliver the blow when you're running with a football?
Yes, sir. I don't know. I was always told, be the hammer, not the nail. So I try to bring the pain every time.
You do a good job.
Yeah, that's good advice for sure.
It sure is.
Talk about this year's team. We talked with Coach Gibson a little bit about, the name Leeds. Whenever you're Leeds and you come in, you're going to get everybody's best shot. I mean, they're always wanting – you're one of the teams that everybody wants to beat. So how do you guys approach that as a team?
Usually we just, look at it as we got to go out there and give our best. We never overlook anybody or downplay anybody, so we just go out there and give our best with whoever we playing. We block out the noise because, people going to talk. So, we just go out there and play ball.
Which team on the schedule gets your attention and you get excited about playing?
Definitely 5 and 6, Hanley and Piedmont.
Hanley and Piedmont?
And Montford.
In Montford?
And Montford.
Uh-oh. Hear that, Montford? That's always a good game, though.
There have been some great games with Leeds and Montford over the last few years. Some outstanding games. And, it's always fun to come watch you guys play. And we were really impressed on Friday night with, as Brandon said, the speed that you guys have and the number of talented guys that you have out there on the offensive side. A lot of weapons for somebody to have to defend. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. God blessed us with a lot of speed, so we just use it the best way we can. Coach does a good job with getting us the ball on the edge and stuff, and with blockers and stuff. Right. So it creates a lot of space for us. So we just make plays, do what we do.
Now, is that a big timing thing with the quarterback and you with your speed? We noticed, he was kind of overthrowing you a little bit earlier in the game, and then y'all started connecting up there, and you got open out in the flat and ran a touchdown
we
back.
just started slow. I've been playing with Zach since I was in the 8th grade. That's when I moved up here, and we've always been kind of close.
Oh, okay.
So it was just a everybody was kind of off because we started slow the first 2 weeks kind of in the first quarter. So we're trying to build it up to where this week we come out first quarter through fourth, play hard as we can.
Okay. And you get set into region play this Friday night against Elmore County. Got your first road game. I asked Coach Gibson this, but for you as a player, you guys have a beautiful field, the turf over there. So I know that's fast with that surface and all. You got to go play on grass this Friday night. Do you guys do much to adjust to that?
See, we've only had turf for about 2 years now, so we still used to playing on grass. Like it's not completely out of our system. So we're not really concerned with the conditions. We're just going to go out and still play the way we play.
Well, the way the Leeds Greenway plays, that's a very good way to play. Hey, Torrence, congratulations on being our FNN Player of the Week, man. Great game on Friday night, and we hope to see you down the road. Good luck this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That is Torrence Pollard. He is a wide receiver and a linebacker for the Leeds Greenway, our FNN Player of the Week. We'll grab a timeout. Brandon and I are coming back with more. It's Gridiron Live here on the Friday Night Network.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
I'm race car driver Crew Skinner. Out on the dirt track, we put dings and dents in our cars almost every night. That's just part of the game. But when it comes to what you drive every day, an unexpected accident creates worry. At Skinner Body Shop in Oxford, we've been taking the stress out of getting wrecked vehicles repaired for years. We had the professional team in place to handle everything from the original free estimate to the final cleanup after all the repairs are complete. We work with all major insurance carriers, so next time the unexpected happens to you, call us at Skinner Body Shop.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and FNN Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Hey, what's up? Oh, wait, I know you're watching TV, but you're thinking about a new truck or a new car. Why don't you log on right now to DriveTeam1.com? DriveTeam1.com has it all. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to Gridiron Live here. I'm Grady Sapp alongside Brandon Steele, live from Gridiron, the Gridiron Restaurant in Oxford tonight. And, of course, we'll be joining you each and every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. from right here at the Gridiron. Want to remind you about our game coming up tonight, or not tonight, but on Friday night. And, of course, it was you, the fans, who voted on this one. We're going to be going to the Creek Bank. The Ohatchee Indians will be taking on the Randolph County Tigers in what we feel like is going to be an epic matchup and to open region play.
I am excited about this one.
I am as well. And don't don't forget the head coach for the Ohatchee Indians will be with us next Tuesday night. Coach Scott Martin will be joining us. We'll be talking about that game and looking ahead at the Indian season. Of course, they got to the semifinals last year, and they beat Randolph County in the quarterfinals to get there. So this is a matchup that has a lot of a little revenge, a little motivation to continue the winning ways out on the creek bank, and I'm really looking forward to this one.
I am too. Also,
don't forget, you will have a chance to vote for our next Friday night's game. So we're going to give you 4 choices that you can go online and vote on at FNNnetwork.com. Hoax Bluff at Jacksonville. Also, Lincoln at Talladega. Piedmont at Randolph County, or Walter Welborn at Weaver. And, of course, we were joined a little earlier by Coach Hamby from out at Weaver. So 4 good games there for you to go online and vote on. So go ahead and start voting and help us pick our game of the week coming up on FNN a week from Friday night.
You know which one I'm going to vote for.
I know. You being an old Bearcat, I know who you want to go do. There's no doubt. So a lot of great high school football. We're just starting to get into region play this week, so things are really going to start to heat up, and we're excited about that and looking forward to it. And, of course, also we got a little college football coming up this weekend. We got college football, I won't say officially underway, but it was the first, I guess, full weekend where almost everybody was in action last weekend. And I don't know if I have seen a slate of games that turned out to be better games. There were so many great games over the weekend. I mean, you looked at especially the ones on Sunday. Texas A&M and UCLA, incredible game. Virginia Tech and West Virginia was a great game. And then last night, Tennessee and Georgia Tech. You know, I thought some of the big games on Saturday, maybe they weren't as competitive as some of the games we saw later in the weekend.
That's true. I agree.
I mean, I thought Alabama was dominant.
It was.
Against Florida State, especially in the second half.
Right.
And when Francois goes out in the fourth quarter, I think that is devastating for Florida State in their season. Of course, Alabama, a couple of linebackers lost for the season to season-ending surgery this week and a couple of other injuries. But, the guys that came in really stepped up and played well.
Yeah, Francois got hurt, right there at the end. So we really don't know what Florida State's backup quarterback really has because he was injured, so far late in the game. So, but Alabama's defense, goodness gracious alive. I've never seen a quarterback get hit as hard as he did. In that, I think it was in the third quarter where Alabama hit Francois, knocked him over into the stands. They threw the flag for hitting him out of bounds, personal foul, but I couldn't find out. He hit him in bounds, and that's just where he landed. There was some hard hits.
And I think we saw the hot seat get hotter out at Texas A&M. You're up 44-10 in the third quarter, and you blow that game. I'll give UCLA some credit for coming back, but you shouldn't be able to blow a 44-10 lead in the third quarter.
No.
That's just not happening.
No, I think Kevin Sumlin's been on the hot seat for a while now. I think it's just gotten, like you said, a lot hotter. This is probably his last season. There's just too much rich tradition out there.
Yeah, they want to win the Board of
What's
Regents.
going on with them Texas teams? Texas.
Texas, yeah.
What was up with that?
All the hype with Tom Herman coming in, and Texas gets throttled by Maryland.
I was not expecting that.
The Big Ten looked really good over the opening weekend. Everybody's saying that's the best conference in the land. We'll see.
Could be.
We'll see. It might be, but we'll find out. And we start to get some answers coming up this weekend because we got some more great matchups on the college side of things. The Auburn Tigers are at Clemson playing the defending national champs on Saturday night. Watching Auburn on Saturday night against Georgia Southern, and I'll take into account that you're not going to show everything that you're going to do in that type of game. Why show Clemson, give them live looks at what you're going to do? And I heard this from a lot of Auburn fans, and I'm going to be interested to watch this season play out.
Right.
To me, it looked like Auburn has hired another offensive coordinator, and Gus Malzahn is still calling the plays. I know Chip may be calling the plays, Chip Lindsey, but it looked like Gus Malzahn plays to me.
I think that's what's going to hurt them in the long run, down the season as it goes on. I think this Auburn game, it happened Saturday. I think that was more just to get Stedham in his groove, see what he's got. See him put him in a lot. It's been 2 years since he's been in a live collegiate game. So I think they answered a lot of questions, and I think they'll probably open it up a little bit more, of course, Saturday. But, if that's as best as he can get, is that good enough for SEC play?
What I saw Saturday night is not, but I'll be interested to know if it's Chip Lindsey offense we see on Saturday against Clemson, or is it Gus Malzahn still running that offense? If it's Malzahn still running the offense, I think Auburn will have a problem.
So what was the story with the two? It did not play with White.
You had Sean White, you had Cameron Petway, and you had Ryan Davis that were out. I have not heard an official word on that, so
must have been really something really internal.
Yeah, it was. They don't really release a whole lot of that. A couple of other big games coming up over the weekend. Big 12, Big Ten, Oklahoma at Ohio State. That is a fun one to take a look at.
It is. It's going to be good. But, I think Ohio State is going to pretty much take care of business with that.
New coach in Lincoln Riley for Oklahoma. New era with the retirement of Bob Stoops. It'll kind of tell us where the Big Ten stands, I think, when Ohio State gets to play. But it's at the Horseshoe, so you probably do have to like Ohio State's chances. Impressed with anybody else in the SEC from what you saw in opening weekend? Really?
Other than Alabama?
No, you weren't. Nobody?
Honestly, I wasn't. Tennessee last night.
Tennessee didn't look great.
Oh, my gosh.
But Georgia Tech.
I was not expecting that. I thought they was going to go out and take care of business. Of course, Georgia Tech, this is not the first time. There's one of those little sleeper games. It used to be, was at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
You'd say, well, that's going to be a gimme. And all of a sudden, Wake Forest has pulled off an upset. Georgia Tech's one of those. How do you measure that? Because they're always competitive every single year. So, I think the Tennessee fans were all getting blown out of shape. Well, this was Georgia Tech. It's not unlike them to pull the upsets and get a close game.
We get a chance locally to see Georgia Tech because the Jacksonville State Gamecocks are going to head over to Atlanta and take on the Yellow Jackets. And they're going to find a Yellow Jacket team, I think, that's in a bad frame of mind when they get over there after the way they lost last night.
But this might be a good time for Jack State to catch them, because, they might be down, and this is a short week for them, really. Jack State's had a lot of time to prepare. But I like Jack State. They're really pretty good. They're very competitive, There was a couple of years ago they played Auburn in a very close game down there. I'm not going to be surprised to see this one go into the fourth quarter. I don't think it's going to be a big blowout.
Maybe it will. Maybe they'll hang with them. It's just playing that option offense. You really got to stay disciplined on defense when you play a Paul Johnson coach Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket team. Don't forget, again, coming up on Friday night, Ohatchee and Randolph County. We want to keep talking about that game because we're really excited about that one because I feel like we got a Randolph County team that's going to be maybe the team to beat in the region.
I think so. It's going to be close, but I've got a good feeling about Randolph County this year.
So I think 6:30, our pregame show coming up on Friday night. Looking forward to that, and hopefully you'll join us here on the Friday Night Network for all of the action from the Creek Bank. Looking really forward to that. And, of course, again, the Gridiron Live. We'll be here live next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And Coach Scott Martin, we know, will be with us from the Ohatchee Indians. So we'll look forward to having Coach Martin on to talk a little Indian football as they will be coming off the Randolph County game that you'll see right here with us on Friday night. Well, it's been a fun first show.
It sure has.
We've had a great time. We appreciate the Gridiron having us each and every week here in Oxford, and looking forward to diving into some of those great wings they've got right there.
I am too.
And I also want to thank our guests for tonight who came over and joined us. Of course, we had Coach Darryl Hamby from the Weaver Bearcats. Also, we had Dalton Hamby, his son, the starting quarterback, and Caleb Allison, the starting inside linebacker. Of course, we also had Coach Lee Gibson, head coach for the Leeds Green Wave, and our FNN Player of the Week, Torrence Pollard, was with us tonight as well. So appreciate all of our guests joining us and making this our premiere show a lot of fun to do. Of course, our producer, Jim Jacobs, and Jake Jacobs taking care of the camera operators for us and making us look good or as good as we can. But
that's right.
All right. Thank you all for being with us. Make sure to join us for the Gridiron Live next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. right here from the Gridiron in Oxford on the Friday Night Network. Good night, everyone.